Good afternoon, viewers. I'm here this afternoon to interview Mr. Ambassador Baba Ahmed Jeddah, OFR, one of the founding members of APC. Nigerian, we have a new president, President Muhamdu Buhari. What to expect? What to expect? What can we expect? Which kind of style? What can you say about his style of leadership?
Well, first and foremost, President Muhamdu Buhari has been in politics for a considerable length of time, and he has committed himself to being a democratically elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and is contested for the presidency of Nigeria since the year 2003. So he is one person that is well prepared for the presidency of Nigeria. Throughout the history of Nigeria since its independence in 1960, we have for the first time got a president that has prepared himself for the job of being president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Secondly, President Muhammadu Buhari got elected as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the platform of the All Progressive Congress. That party has got its manifesto, and the operations of his administration will be generally guided by what is contained in the manifesto of the APC. In addition to what is available in the manifesto of the party, he also over the years has got his own ideas, views, and commitments to what he intends to do for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. During his campaign, he has been putting a lot of emphasis on three main issues: the issue of security, the issue of corruption, and the issue of unemployment among the youth, especially. So, these are the general concept, the general circle within which the presidency of Muhammadu Buhari will be seen to operate.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. That leads us to the next question. What can you say to fellow Nigerians? Because recently we've been reading in the print media, electronic media, mass media, saying there's a kind of a delay in naming the ministerial post. People see it as a delay.
That's the problem of Nigerians. We are generally impatient. I have told you at the beginning of this interview that President Muhammadu Buhari is well prepared for the presidency of Nigeria. He has appointed the steering committee, what we call it, the National Transition Committee. And his transition committee was supposed to have worked with the transition committee of the outgoing administration. Unfortunately, that was not to be. So the handover notes were received after the inauguration of the president. So President Muhammadu Buhari has told Nigerians that you should exercise patience and wait until the report of the transition committee, especially as it relates to the handover notes, are being studied and recommendations being made. You are aware that the transition committee, under the chairmanship of elder statesman Ahmed Jordan, has already submitted its report to the president last week. So he is studying the report, and then he will now come out with the type of persons that it is candid opinion in consultation with the party to appoint as ministers, especially of key ministers of petroleum, of finance, of science and tech, of foreign affairs, etc. etc. Secondly, ministers will have to be screened by the Senate. And the leadership of the Senate came up a few days ago. And the Senate has since adjourned for 2 weeks. So there is no way, even if the president has this ready now, for the ministers to be appointed until and unless the Senate resumes to enable him to present the list of screening. So Nigerians will have to be patient and will have to give the president the respect for knowing what he's doing and for trying to choose the correct people, the right people, so that he doesn't have to be removing people immediately after appointing. He intends to work with people for a very long time as much as possible. If you appoint people you don't know, or people who are not capable, or you put square peg in round holes, you may end up having problems before you even start. So I think we do appreciate his carefulness, being cautious, and these technical reasons, the two reasons of the transition committee report just being submitted and the adjournment of the Senate has made it mandatory for him to wait until things are clear for him to do so.
Thank you. That means, in a nutshell, Mr. President Nigerians rather, have to wait for the due process.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. And that leads us to the next question. As one would say, is we all, if I should use the word we all, looking forward to what to expect in the first 100 days of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration.
Again, the transition committee report will contain what should be expected in the first 100 days of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. And if you can be availed with a copy of the report, you will see the recommendations of what the administration will want to do in the first 100 days. Short of that, nobody would now tell you as an individual that this is what is going to do, this is what is already contained in the transition committee.
Thank you. Okay. Nigerians voted in mass. They've given the mandate to Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari. And as many are saying, they would like to know in what way, not only their votes that put Mr. President in office, in what other ways do you think everyday people, everyday Nigerians can still contribute to the success of the term or of the presidency of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration?
If you have a good leader, you would expect for him to succeed to have good followership. And in that context, we expect Nigerians to ensure attitudinal change. Unless you do that, it will be difficult for an individual, good as he may be, as President Muhammadu Buhari, to succeed. So, I am sure President Buhari expects Nigerians to change their attitude towards everyday workings in this country. Secondly, you will expect them to be patient. And thirdly, Governance is a collective responsibility. We should wait for the formation of the cabinet. By the time President Buhari names his ministers and allocates ministries to them, you will begin to see the direction in which the administration will be going. And the expectation of him from Nigerians will of course be that they will join him to bring the much desired change in how we do things in this country. You are aware that things have degenerated to the extent of hopelessness. However, he happens to be our last one. President Buhari is probably the only person standing in terms of integrity, in terms of incorruptibility, in terms of patriotism. He is one person that is standing. And he needs the support of all Nigerians, especially his appointees, to cue in to his ideals of moving this country forward. In that context, he would expect cooperation from all the tiers of government. It is not enough for a president to have integrity and to be incorruptible. He needs the governors to key in to that principle. He will need the 774 local governments in this country to also imbibe the spirit of accountability and patriotism and commitment to move this country forward. So, what has damaged this country for the last 16 years by the PDP would not be achieved in a day or two. Neither would it be achieved alone. It is a collective responsibility, and it is expected that all sectors of the society, the youth, the women, the civil servants, the politicians, the businessmen, the security agencies, will all have to put hands on deck to ensure that the president succeeds in moving this country forward, so that we will join the civilized Committee of Nations.
Thank you. That brings us to the final question. As you're well aware, I don't have the statistics here, but I believe if not more than over half of the Nigerian populations are youths, maybe under 20 or 30 years of age. So what would be your general advice to the Nigerian youth?
Before I give my advice to the youth will not listen to my advice unless I am it. There is no need advising the youth if we do not have job opportunities for them, if we do not give them education. We must give them hope. During the campaigns, we went to several states in Nigeria with President Muhamdu Buhari. And if you see the yearnings of the youth, how they are looking up to him, if you see how they struggle to see him, you can see that the expectation of the youth, especially, very, very high. It was therefore not a surprise that President Buhari has made employment of the youth as one of the cardinal principles of his campaign strategy. In Nigeria, we have failed in our responsibility to generate employment and wealth for the youth, simply because we fail to industrialize. We don't have sufficient power in this country. If you get sufficient power, you will have industries. If you have industries, you generate employment. And then the educational institutions, literally even universities of course. Universities are generally closed half the year due to rustication, even lecturers going on strike, and so on and so forth. This is all a sense of frustration and indiscipline. So we have to resuscitate our educational institutions. We need to revitalize. We have to show serious commitment to resuscitating all our institutions, from the primary level to the tertiary to the universities. We need to do that. And we need to take a hard look at the behavior of our youth. We have discovered that majority of our youth are now under the influence of drugs. We need to check our borders to stop illegal importation of drugs to this country. Our youth are idle, they do not go to school, they are not working, and drugs are available, maybe affordable rates, and so they keep engaging in all sort of nefarious activities, all sort of, activities that are not becoming of a generation that we are supposed to succeed, enable them to succeed. Those of us that are their elders. So I think it is a very serious issue, and we want to deal with the youth to be patient with President Muhamdu Buhari, because he really considers employment for the youth, engaging them and improving on their welfare and resuscitating educational institutions as a priority in his administration of the all progressive schools.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador Baba Ahmed Jeddah, for having me. And it's been a very pleasure, so very pleasant. I'm looking forward to seeing you once again. Thank you.